Today is February 10th, 2019, and welcome to another episode of Brooklyn Baritone Podcast. Everyone, thanks for joining us. This, of course, is Corey Ashley on the microphone, and I am here today with
Natasha Ashley.
Natasha Ashley. How are we doing today, Natasha?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, so we're here. Going to talk about, of course, all the topics that matter that I don't think is really focused on enough in society. I want to start off with talking about like character, because it's like I feel like there's a lack of it, or if anything, a lack of concentration on how to build it properly. And, you know, homes, communities, nations, companies, seeing how so much things are going astray, going awry, so much things are flipped upside down. You know, it's something that affects everybody. And I think we do need to focus on that. You know, what do you think about that, Tasha?
We do need to focus on it because we affect each other with our character and with our personalities. And especially when people are in leadership and management position. Mm-hmm. You know, I was looking up a job, and I went to look at the reviews, and it was a whole list of disgusting comments about how, well, it was about people with their disgusting character, about how management was terrible. Right. The way they act, how they treat people, how they use their position to bully people and, you know, just basically oppress them because they're not good leaders. They just have a position. So it's very good to get into character and character building. Mm-hmm. I think it's very important as adults and as children and parents to teach their children character building. Well,
right. So, okay, see, I know you being my wife and living with you and all that good stuff. I know that you have taken a lot of courses, you know, to build yourself up and, of course, build up your knowledge base and everything about what pretty much constitutes as character building. You know, I do read a lot of books on that and try to apply that. But see, before we go any further, character, let's go for the definition of what character is. We're going on, of course, a dictionary as per Google. It is the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. So it's basically who you are. This is what you about. Everything that you do, everything that's in you, even the things that you don't portray. That's what you are. That's who you are. That's what you're going to be about. All your decisions, all your words, actions, the people you hang about is going to be based about your character. So this is very much important where, you know, again, as I said, I read a lot of books. Tasha here has gone through a lot of courses. So, you know, there's emphasis on character building, but usually people don't look at character building as much until like you and we get into the corporate world and stuff. That's where we start seeing the results of not having proper character. These characters, that's not a good character. They're leaders and they're workers, you know? So I'm going to take it because you've actually done courses in corporate America and the workforce that you've, you know, had some experiences with any characters, good characters, bad characters, in between characters.
We always have a lot of experiences with good and bad characters because we have to work with people, whether they mop floors or whether they're in management or even supervisors. It's from the smallest person to the greatest person. Mm-hmm. And it starts with our children. I don't want to jump and don't fall back on how it starts. It starts as parents educating themselves about character building and taking the time to get a board, put it up there on their wall, and teach their children character building. Teach them not just, we like to teach them no snitching. Okay, but so teach them, be kind, be courteous, be respectful, respect your elders, have integrity. We always talking about karma. Don't steal things, even if your job is not paying you properly, because it's going to come back to you and something might be something might get stolen from you. We don't think that way. We always think one way and not the other way around. We always justify our bad ways and things that we want to do badly by saying, you know, they do this, so we're going to do that, you know, the type of petty mentality. So it really starts at home and teaching the children, not to say that they're going to listen to everything that you say, but when they get into certain situations, they're going to remember what their parents says. Your parents' voice becomes your conscience. You remember when they said, boy, didn't I tell you not to do that? I told you not to do that. You know, so they'll come back to you. So it's all about character building from youth, and then you'll make better people in society.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you think I have good character?
Yes.
I believe I do. I believe you have good character too. But we talk about character. Well, you know, you have any experiences? Because I know I have a few experiences.
What is good character?
Of bad. We're going to get to that. You know, I don't want to see, you know, when you have any experiences. People, when you think about experiences with character, you think of the bad characters. I got a whole bunch of bad, especially in the workplace, you know, people that you know and everything where you know that they just never practiced that to really be a good person. But we got to go and look at what constitutes as good and bad character. You know,
good character is integrity, honesty, loyalty.
But then where are we going to get those standards from, though? Because, you know, we could say that, but then if you have, we're in a world
these are moralistic characters. If we get this from God,
yeah, but okay, that's the answer I was looking for right there.
Atheism doesn't have.
Well, and not even so much atheism, just alone. Even though they're in that group where you don't have standards, people say people is good. I'm like, what constitutes as good? Because good, as far as, you know, you say evolutionary standards is like, yeah, I'm going to take what you have forcefully, if anything.
Because they have no moral standard. Moral standards come from God. Moral standards are actually built in us. Yeah. So picking up evolution is something that foreign for us.
Right.
Because naturally we know what's good and what's bad.
So you're saying we have the innate ability to understand at least at the basic level what is good and what is bad.
Of course.
Then what happens then, we just start to develop ways to justify kind of going outside that scope of, you know, because we have people who steal every day. We have corporations, sections of government, individual people every day that say, you know, it's okay to steal. But the thing is, we look at individual people stealing, but it's a little bit more acceptable kind of acceptable for bigger entities like certain parts of government, corporations, because they have the law behind them. But just because something is legal don't mean it's ethical. So then therein lies a problem we have every day, because these laws and these entities, they affect us every day. So
because God is not within their laws.
Well, and it's really people comprised of that. So you're gonna have a lot of good people with good characters working in these organizations, but they don't have a unified voice, or they're not, I guess, that disturbed enough to make a change to make things better. Because we have usury. You know, I say this, you know, as an example. A lot of people, they're in debt. A lot of people will have loans out, whatever, and like the loans are like, you know, they're making profit off the loan. So if I borrow $500 from the bank, I'm not paying $500 back. I'm going to be paying like $1,000 back. So they're making a profit. So that is usury. And usury was illegal at one point because it was unethical. Because you're like, hey, listen, I'm already in a tight spot. Gonna get some money. I'll pay it back. Sure, I'll give it to you, but I'm going to make some money off of you. So I kind of put you more in a tight spot. So you got to kind of work harder or be pressed up even more. So kind of morally, that kind of like, you know, puts people in a tough situation, because a lot of people are in a tough situation.
There's nothing wrong with making money. Everybody got to make money, but it's how much.
How you do it though. Was that little clip from Tupac? I made a G today, but you made it in a sleazy way. So people would justify doing immoral things for the sake of profit, I gotta eat, I gotta make money. So value is displaced now. You understand? So we don't even have the human element as the marker for value. It's like now in profit. It's now money. This is why a lot of people kind of, you know, get away with all this stuff, right? So, okay, those are like a couple of examples that every day we have everyday examples of, what bad character can get you, and it affects everyone. But the thing is, it has to be on the individual level of what is the standard? Because if you don't really have a standard, or you're wishy-washy with it, or you figure like, hey, if everyone else is doing it, or I gotta live, then anything goes basically. I could break into someone's house and, sounds terrible, I could rape someone. Because of the fact, it's survival of the fittest, right? When you look at the law, the quote unquote law of nature, animals do it all the time, right? They need to survive, so why can't I do it? So when you have the moral standard of the creator taking a back seat to, well, I got to do me, I got to get mine, then anything goes basically.
And that's the sad part about it, because everything is I. You have the people that say I, and then you have the people say we supposed to be we,
Mm-hmm.
but then you have the other people that says, but they're saying I, and they're in position. So we have to do what they're doing, because then we don't eat. So we can't be we. So when it's messed up from the top,
right,
it's going to be messed up all the way through. Like a king, when you have a good king, the kingdom flourishes. When you have a bad king, the kingdom does not flourish. So we have a system that is against us. We have a system that says me, I get it. And then so in order to survive, we on the bottom have to step on each other to get where we have to get, because that is the system that was created for us.
And it's normalized.
It's a system without God. It's a petty system. It's a me system. Right. It's a I get as much as you can system.
Well,
without any moral standard, without caring about others. And this is what we have to fight against. This is a monster that we fight against. And in fighting against this monster, what we do now is survive. So we don't think about characters. We don't think about moral integrity. We don't think about these things, because we are survivors.
Well, yeah, but let's take it a little further. You said, when you have a good king, the kingdom flourishes. A bad king, everything just rolls downhill, right? Mm-hmm. So let's go even further with that. The way a king is supposed to be is not even in the same context that we have been raised up, or it's even been practiced as in our history as humans on this earth here. A king is not, we see the king as someone on a throne. They got the nice purple threads on, the nice robe. They got the crown with the bling on and everything, sitting on a ton of money. And they have a bunch of subjects in a castle, nice and luxurious place, mm-hmm. while you have the common people. That's not supposed to be even our
that's the European.
Right. Our blueprint for a king is not even supposed to be that. A real king is supposed to have dominion, because here's the thing. When we go back to this proper standard, it was to have dominion over the earth, but not domination. Domination is a perversion, more forceful version of dominion. With dominion, you basically are responsible for everything and everyone you survey. That means you got to make sure everyone is good. Hence, while we have so much courses, we have all of these people who are making money being speakers, writing books that corporations are hiring people to teach them to be better people, to be better leaders. Good leaders are the ones that actually take care of the people that are under them, or the subordinates. The leaders are supposed to be subservient to the people around them. You got to make sure your people are good, so we can, whatever our common goal is, we got to get there. But I got to make sure you guys are good. I got to make sure you are trained up. I got to make sure you have the resources and tools you need. I got to make sure your money is straight. Make sure the morality is good. So if anything, the leader's supposed to be on the bottom, holding everyone thing together, not everyone on the bottom holding the one king up. So that right there, that mentality right there got us all messed up in the game, basically. So it's like just the mentality of trying to rewire ourselves, because we raise children to be fair, right? To play nice, to not lie, do all this stuff. But then when we get older and older, the rest of the world isn't following that stuff. It's nice. They're not saying that everyone out there is terrible. A lot of people are honorable out there. They don't lie. They're very dependable people. But then you have a lot of people out there running around just doing whatever. Treating their bodies any way they want, treating other people any way they want, doing what they need to do to get to the top, fake it till you make it. It's all about dollars and getting their pockets lined up.
It's about survival.
Unfortunately, right, exactly.
That's what we've been,
hoodwinked, bamboozled.
Down to. It's all about survival. We're not thinking about bettering our generation.
Right.
You know, as I tell my kids, I said, your job is to do it better than me. Don't do the same thing that I did. You make new mistakes, but be a better person than your mother was. That's your only job.
Paying it forward, basically, because you know what happens.
Because then our generation gets better. That's
Correct.
how generations get better. You give them the job to do better than you. If you think that I wasn't doing this right, you have a better solution. You do it. You know, and if you see that we're lacking in some form, because parents are not perfect. We are human beings. We're going to miss something. We're going to, you know, not pay much attention to certain things. And if you see that that is the case, then you as a child, as you get older, you do better than I did. And that's how it is. That's how it should be, you know, and we'll live a little bit better because it's always, let's get better. Let's get better. Not get money. Let's get more money. Let's get more money. Oh, I didn't have this when I was a kid. We wasn't driving cars. We was up and down in the train. I'm going to get me a car. It's all about material. It's all about surviving. It's all about looking good to the person, but then you're not good. So you get all these things and you push yourself and you get all these riches, and then your health is failing because you was never taught, hey, your body actually needs water, not soda. Hey, or your juice. Body actually needs water, not drink. Kool-Aid. Why?
But
because our
so
body
good.
is 80% or 85% water or 70% water, something like that. You know, we're not being taught. We push our kids into school and we depend on the school to teach them. Just like we depend on the church to better ourselves. When we have to dig it up for ourselves.
Preach it. Wow.
We have to read the Bible for ourselves. We have to teach our kids for ourselves. Teach them how to cook.
Yeah, teach them. It's the same thing. It says you have to teach a man how to fish. Not fish for them, because they're never going to understand what it takes to really do for themselves, understand what it takes to actually go out there and do the work and then yield the benefits of actually doing that. You know, we're making people, not because you just don't want to help people, because you got to make them sufficient. The more self-sufficient people you have, and they're going to have a better mindset and approach and respect for the things that they get.
Of course.
You know, so we talk about the Bible, talk about character. One character, you know, a lot of people know about is Joseph, right? He had a terrible beginning. You know, he had a chip on his shoulder. His brothers didn't like it. He got sold into slavery by his brothers to get rid of the problem. So this dude is in Egypt now for like, I don't know how much years. So I can imagine how he wanted revenge in his heart. He was hurt. He's in another place, but he still was doing his best, because as a slave, he was still doing his best. He could have been bitter, could have been salty. He was
a bit salty.
He was a bit, but it didn't affect his work ethic though. That's a beautiful thing, because I don't know if I could have did that. But because of his work ethic and his character, like, you know, I'm not going to steal. I'm not going to act like, you know, the world is ended and all that stuff. I'm going to still do me no matter where I am. I'm put somewhere. I'm still going to make my value come out. And that's how come he got pushed up into a dope spot with it in the slave master's home. But see, at the same time, the slave master's Potiphar, the dude who owned him, his wife, saw him, was feeling him a bit, tried to push up on him. I'm pretty sure it had other people working in there that, you know, that like, all right, well, you know, she ain't gonna say nothing, you know, and she looked pretty. But Joseph was like, nah, chill, I can't do that. One, this is this dude's wife that I work for. Two, nah, the way I roll with the creator, with Elohim, with the Father, with God, that wouldn't sit well with him either. I'm like, I can't rock with that. So even though you could probably say he had every justifiable right, given his position, to just do whatever, because you don't know how long he gonna live. He away from home. He could die in that place. Just, you know, YOLO. We only live once, right? And because of his character, even though he had to go through a lot of crap for years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, like, again, I don't know if I could do that. Because of his character, it paid off in the end, where he was as powerful as Pharaoh. Pharaoh was the only one over him. So he was as powerful because of his, imagine he was a dude who was stealing. They would have killed him right there. Story would have been dead. Done. Wouldn't hear nothing about Joseph at all. What if he was in jail acting the fool because, I can't believe I'm in jail now? Because he had his character. Even though he was angry, he acted up a little bit. But because his character
Integrity.
This is the integrity. One thing I always say is character is the vehicle that will carry you through life. If you have good character, you have a good vehicle. So you have a rocky road, your vehicle's going to sustain you over that rocky road. But if you got bad character or weak character, the rocky road comes, you can get mashed up and left on the wayside. And when you could have been going forward to hopefully smoother roads, you stuck now. You stuck. You done messed up opportunities for yourself. Doors of blessing, opportunities closed. You closed it. You have no idea. So that's why it's so important to develop good character. Because not just for you. Because I can only imagine how much people, even me too, probably didn't have the proper fortitude to do what I need to do. Who knows how it would affect me positively now. But how much people are left by the wayside because their character wasn't strong. And it's not just you. Other people are affected by you too. This is what people just fail to realize, and we always ask questions based on why things so messed up. It's because people decide to make things messed up, So what's up, Tosh?
What's up with what? I'm listening to you.
I know. I have a beautiful voice, but I want to hear your voice too. I like hearing your voice. What else we got?
You want me to talk about what you just said? You was just talking about
anything
Joseph
else to add to the matter? Because I just want to throw Joseph in there. Because, that's an example of a fantastic character. Again, I don't know if I had the strength to do all that. So if Father know who to put in certain places, boy, I tell you, but it's very important to develop good character. It's hard because this world, everyone doesn't follow the proper route to have good character.
Our whole system is messed up. And not to be a pessimist, but it's like, I feel like nothing is going to be right until God comes. And for those who believe in God, because it's been messed up to the point that the whole system has to be totally broken down and built back up properly for it to have
I believe
a better
too.
effect. Because as you was talking about the king and the kingdom, I mean, it goes, everybody's supposed to help everybody. The king is supposed to be that manager that manages people's things properly.
Right.
Like if you pay in taxes, this is what the taxes is for.
Right.
Now
Exactly.
He's supposed to rotate the money that even though it's taken out now, it's going to come back to you. And this is how we help one another. They always talking about it takes a village to raise one child.
That is correct.
And it's a very deep saying, because it shows you how much we supposed to be helping each other. We're supposed to be hand in hand. We're not supposed to be separated. We're not supposed to be divided by races. We're supposed to have one goal. Finances or races. We're supposed to have one goal, and one goal is this: for all of us to live in harmony, for all of us to better ourselves, for all of us to have respect for each other and love for each other, and all of us move in an intellectual way and learn more together. Not certain people learn this and other people can't learn it. If you don't have the money to pay for this school, you can't go.
Too bad
it's
for
not
you.
supposed to. All of this stuff is set up to mess us up. We are in a place and in a system for us to be divided. That's what the system is made for us to be divided. It's not for us to move together as a people. We always talking about, you have churches talking about we have to be together. You have other people talking about we have to be together. But what type of together? We're together but separate because we clicking up.
Well, see,
we clicking up.
That's where it comes down to the individual training.
The higher ups clicking up with the higher ups. Why you don't come down and chill with the other workers? Why you have to feel like you can't be around them because you're so much more important than them?
That's what it's supposed to be.
You get that feel.
That's what it's supposed to be, So, all right. So I think we covered a whole lot. I think we covered a whole lot about character, examples of good character. And, we could go on if this forever and never and never. Amen. But there's a lot of issues that come about because, people, don't develop good character, strong character, because on an individual level, and understanding the standards, and then on an individual level, you now grow as a family, as a unit with your friends, with your coworkers, with your neighbors, with the regular guy in the street that you don't even know, which will now translate to better communities, cities, nations, and globally. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing. Everyone kind of wants things to be good and great, but I don't think people really understand how to get there properly, and people kind of overlook and they gloss over the importance of strong and good character a little too much, which is why we have problems. I mean, people like to blame.
We got a lot of problems.
We got a lot of problems. People blame God for so much things, but because they don't understand who God is. And the thing is, it's people.
They want a Superman. They want Superman they want to call God and God do things right for them.
Right for them. That's what they want. It don't work like that, because He made us, so we have a lot of innate abilities, more abilities that we give ourselves credit for. So we have the ability to make things way better. Our words have such power to them. And then action behind that with a common goal and focused energy, it makes so much things happen. But it's people that make all the things bad in this place. It's people that rape. It's people that rob. It's people that walk past homeless people. It's people that abuse children. It's people that, run out on their family.
That's what they choose to do.
What they choose because their character is bad or not strong enough. So that's what it comes down to. Okay. So when people say, so how come God this? How come God that? Nah, you got to get that out your mind, because it's people that's choosing to harm people. But at the same time, there are a lot of people out there that are choosing to help people. People who are actually choosing to have a great attitude every day because they understand that their energy affects everything and everyone around them. And they're responsible and they're strong. These are the people that really make the proper good changes in this world. So I think we're good. We're closing up with that right there. We covered up a good amount. I don't want to keep dragging it because I could talk all day. I could talk all day, Tasha.
Not me.
When I'm in the mood for it. But anyways, I hope we spark some interest and some thought, hopefully to go forward and do some good things, to think about some things. But this is our cue to cut out of here. Thank you for listening. This was Corey Ashley, and
this is Natasha Ashley
on the Brooklyn Baritone Podcast. We will see you, or you will hear from us next week. Take care of you. Love one another. Be blessed.
Peace.